radar over and out. Sky Marshal radar. Out of body pilot. Right now, you have a pandemic. You have a pandemic with the coronavirus. In times of crisis, this is when people clean up financially. People get greedy when everyone else is fearful. So here we go. 94% of Fortune 1000 are seeing coronavirus supply chain disruptions. 94% of the Fortune 1000, not the Fortune 500, Fortune 1000, seeing coronavirus supply chain disruption. Who's the 6% that's unaffected out of the 94% that are affected? Something great to focus on. To understand the potential painful impact of the coronavirus on the Fortune 1000 takes just one word: resin. When the 2011 earthquake and tsunami struck the Fukushima Prefecture of Japan, the electronics industry had a huge problem on its hands. 2 Mitsubishi Gas Chemical factories in the affected area made almost the entire world's supply of a epoxy resin called bismaleimide triazine, or BT. Electronic chip manufacturers regularly use BT to seal their components. No BT, no chip, without a major manufacturing overhaul. It was buried within the supply chain, a component of a component. As this coronavirus continues to spread, the region of China most heavily affected by the outbreak is a hub of global supply chains. A new Dun & Bradstreet study estimates that 163 of the Fortune 1000 have Tier 1 suppliers, those they do direct business with in that area. And 938 of the Fortune 1000 have Tier 2 suppliers, which feed the first tier. What does all this mean? Well, that's where it becomes troubling. It's going to be that item where only one plant is qualified to make that, and it's going to interrupt the whole production line. The pinch is already being felt. Amazon has been stockpiling Chinese-made goods. Under Armour warned off a $50 to $60 million potential shortfall in the first quarter. Multiple automakers have shut down factories in China, and Nintendo expects inevitable production and shipment delays. A growing number of companies have issued earnings warnings related to coronavirus. So beyond the already announced effects, many of the Fortune 1000 companies still don't know how seriously their operations will be affected, although likely aware of the Tier 1 suppliers' status. They and 5 million other companies globally, by Dun & Bradstreet's estimation, have little interaction with the Tier 2 level they indirectly use, all of which happen to be in the same part of China. The waters get murkier. When you look at the SARS outbreak in 2003, they were 2% of global GDP. SARS, 2003, 2% of global GDP. Today, they're 20%. 20%. Already feeling the impact, according to a study, are the automobile and electronics industries, which face the largest first quarter effects on earnings. They Then come retail, financial services, followed by total services, with a heavy emphasis on disrupted tourism. What does all this mean? Okay. All of this is saying basically the alternative is worse. You stop production and a company could lose customers. Like BT epoxy and resin, it only takes a single automobile panel or one industrial motor to keep a product from shipping, because increasingly work has become custom rather than using off-the-shelf parts. Finding the alternative source may be at best costly and at worst nearly impossible. Beyond customer loss, a factory shutdown has another long-term implication. A company can easily stop production. Restarting, though, means re-engaging the entire supply chain and get it to work again on all the necessary components. The participating companies likely have shifted attention elsewhere to keep their own revenue streams alive. While there is concern now, the great unknown is how long the situation in China could last. Some manufacturers and their suppliers have more options than others. But if you're a Fortune 50 or Fortune 100, you're going to have a lot of resources to identify and mitigate risks. On the other hand, corporations in the bottom half of the Fortune 1000, which individually still have billions in annual revenue, frequently run with less inventory and more reliance on components, ingredients, and products arriving only when needed. So that could mean having only 30 to 40 days of materials on hand. Anticipation of the Lunar New Year probably meant that companies had already laid in additional inventory because of planned shutdowns, adding perhaps 2 more weeks of production capacity. Another month beyond that, you're going to see some of the companies having issues. Look, prices are going to decline on a lot of companies. So, not to sound cold, but it's during times like this that these fortunes are made. People raise cash and they buy up stocks. And when there's a crisis, when there's a pandemic, when there's a situation going down. Another thing to factor in is that the virus is not quarantined and contained in China. It's spreading. So it's possible that the principal means of production, human capital, may truly become a scarce item if it gets out of control. But, we're going to see how fast this infection spreads. But it's a crazy time that we live in. But in other news, gold is up today, at least. Currently, gold is up. So I suspect now is a great time to hedge against stagnation and slowdowns or any event of economic downturn forecast. So hate to say it, but, when markets crash, invest in stuff that goes up when things go bad. So it's actually an opportunity to make some money if you're into investing and things like that. 2020 is a very interesting year. And we only a few months in. We're only in the first quarter. Peace, love, smile, street, galaxy. I'm Zachary. I see you. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Be kind to nature. The universe will support you. Health is wealth, so take care of self. Sky Marshal Radar, out of body pilot, over and out.